Okay, ready? Hello everyone, and welcome to KAIST 1, the first event of the semester. Yay! So as you all know, you should know, this is KAIST 1 Vietnam. If you don't know, I don't know why you came. Please thank the Vietnamese people here at KAIST that worked so hard on preparing this event. They actually cooked by themselves the food, so it's authentic. They spent like 6 hours yesterday cooking for us. So let's give them a really big round of applause. I would also like to thank ISSS for their constant support to the international community. They fund this event, as you know, and many other events. So please also give them a round of applause. Nice. Okay. So with that, I would like to give the floor to Ms. Phong Ngan, the country representative of Vietnam. Please welcome her on stage.
Good evening, every people. Today I am very happy to see you all here with us and in this event. So, on behalf of Vietnam students in KAI, I want to say thank you very much. And also, we want to thank you to ISSS to support us for this event. Thank you to organize KAI 1 event to give us a chance to presentation about our country. And I hope you all can enjoy with Vietnam, with KAI 1 Vietnam. Thank you very much. So in the night, I will give to our friend with presentation about our country. So welcome to Miss Hồng Anh. So please come. Yeah, Mr. Cảnh will presentation about the Vietnam, like history, people, or culture. So please enjoy with presentation.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to KAIST 1 Vietnam again. And I hope you enjoy the game and the food today. But before that, let's take some time to learn about Vietnamese people, culture, and life in Vietnam. And first of all, so for those who may don't know, then now we are here in the South Korea. And this is Vietnam. We are in the southeast of Asia, and we have border with China in the north, Laos and Cambodia in the west, and we also close to the Pacific Ocean in the east and the south. Just to remember this information, it will be helpful for you in this event. And here's some basic information about Vietnam. We have total area of about 330,000 square kilometer. And for the easy thinking, it's about 3 times bigger than Korea. And we have total population of about 97 million people. And Vietnam is divided into 63 provinces, and we have total 54 ethnic groups. And among them, then the King people or the Viet people was the dominator with about nearly 90% of the population. And before we go further, then I have something to tell you about Vietnam. The first one is the war has been ended for more than 40 years. It looks obvious, but whenever I search Google for Vietnam, they always suggest me the keyword Vietnam War. So if you see the picture like this on the internet with a lot of helicopter and soldiers, then probably it's a Hollywood movie. And the second, even the Ho Chi Minh City is the biggest city in Vietnam, but our capital is Hanoi. And the Ho Chi Minh City is, on the other hand, is the center of our economy and business. And the last one, if you maybe when you go to Vietnam, you will not see this frequently, but our national flower is lotus, and it's the sign of the beautiful, the sign of the beauty. Okay, now let's take some look on the Vietnamese story. And about the history, then like many countries in the Asia, we have more than 5,000 years of history. And the first state in Vietnam that we call the Văn Lang has been formed about 3,000 years ago, and it exists for more than 2,000 years. And there's some evidence so that the Vietnamese people is very highly skilled in metal fabrication during the Văn Lang dynasty. And the notable one is the Dong Sơn drum. You may have heard about it before. Then the Dong Sơn drum is a very big drum. Its weight is about 200 pounds, as far as I remember. And there's a lot of beautiful and creative artifact on it, like you can see it here or on the previous slide. And it has age of about 2,000 years. And it was considered as the state of the art of metalworking in Asia at this time. And after the Văn Lang, then we have a very long history. Our first official state is Ola, and it's in the 25 BC. And the Ola exists for about 100 years before being defeated by the Han Dynasty in China, as you remember. And after that, we have about 1,000 years under the China dominations. And after getting back to country from China, then we learn from them, and we have one more 1,000 years under the successive dynasty. And in the 18th century, we again did defeat, and this time it was by French. And we have almost 100 years being under the French domination. And the next you may know about is about the American War. And even we have a lot of war in the history, but nowadays Vietnam is a peaceful and beautiful country. And because of our experience, we also understand that the wars bring nothing but death, loss, and sorrow. Therefore, we also actively support and contribute to the peace movement in Europe. And as you may know, it's just one month ago, the second summit between the US and North Korea was held in Hanoi. Okay, so now let's take some look on the Vietnamese life. Then we still a developing country, therefore there are a lot of rural area in Vietnam. And most of the people in the rural area, they are farmers. And the life in the rural area is slow and quiet. And the citizens here tend to live slowly, happily, then enjoy the life. But in the contrast, in the urban, then the citizens are always busy, go to work, office, school, and because the main transportation in Vietnam is motorbike, so the traffic is usually traffic jam on the rush hour. And the people in the big city in Vietnam is familiar with this, but I mean, we are familiar with a lot flow of motorbike stream on the street. However, for the foreigner and the tourism, then sometimes even crossing the street in the rush hour is the challenge, very challenge. And for sport, and even we have some traditional sport, and you may try it today after this presentation. But nowadays, the football is the most popular sport in Vietnam, both in the rural area and also the not in the rural or in the urban city. And the football fan in Vietnam is always very emotional and sometimes crazy. And if you are also the football lover, you may know that in the last year we have some our national team have some achievement in the Asia tournament and also the Southeast Asia as well. And this is how we separate it on the street. It's very amazing. And for the culture, then like most of country in the Southeast Asia, then we was the strong influence by the Korea ways, the Hallyu. So if you go to Vietnam today, you may see that the culture in Vietnam is just familiar, is the similar in the Korea. However, we also have some very specific outfit, and the most famous one that you may heard about is áo dài. And it's the cap breast, and it was made by silk. And it's traditionally it's the white, but nowadays you can choose your color, whatever you want. And like the handbook in the Korea, then the áo dài is our national costume. Then therefore we wore the áo dài in almost every important event. For example, in the picture on the right is the Henny. She's our Miss she's the Miss of Vietnam, and she wearing áo dài in the Miss Universe 2018. And in the picture on the right, you may see that there is áo dài in a wedding, and there are also a men version of áo dài, not only the women. And also you see that a lot of Vietnamese students wearing áo dài today. And if you have been visit Vietnam, then you may see this one. It's called the áo tứ thân, and it's also one of our traditional outfit. And usually it was worn in some traditional event in the north of Vietnam. Or if you visit the south of Vietnam, you may see a lot of women on this kind of outfit. And we call it the áo bà ba, and it's the sign of the Mekong Delta. Whenever we talk about the Mekong Delta, that means we talk about the áo bà ba. And okay, so let's talk a little bit about food now. Firstly, I want to remind you that Vietnam has a family-based society. Therefore, usually every member of the family will have dinner and lunch together. And during the meal, we will interact a lot with each other. And a traditional meal in Vietnam, we always have a rice, like here in Korea. And we have a lot of vegetable. And usually we will have from 2 to 3 the main dish. And we also have side dish here. We also have side dish in Vietnam, but usually it's not too much. It's not much like we have in Korea. And also the food in Vietnam is not spicy. And it's maybe flavor and sweet, usually sweet. And we have a lot of famous food in Korea and also in the world. The first one, very famous, that you may know, is the phở. And we call it, or someone call it the Vietnamese noodle, but the name is phở. And we call it the soul of Vietnamese cuisine. And there are a lot of restaurants here in Daejeon. You may want to try. The best one I have tried is at MOE in Dun Sandong. You may want to try it after this presentation. And the second one, also famous, and this is a bánh mì, or Vietnamese sandwich. And we call it the McDonald's killer because of this one, McDonald's cannot open their restaurant in Vietnam. And finally, it's the bún chả, also very famous and usually is popular in the north of Vietnam. And you may see in the picture is the former U.S. president is having bún chả in a small restaurant in Hanoi. It's very famous picture. And also the man in front of him is also famous. If you watch the CNN food series, you may know him. I forgot his names. Oh no, it's oh, I'm sorry, I cannot remember his name. But this food is famous, but I want to emphasize that this only the very small corner of Vietnamese cuisine. We have a lot of amazing food, and okay. And if you are a food lover and you want an amazing experience, you may want to go to Vietnam. I know that we are all hungry now. So now let's talk a little bit about Vietnamese culture. And the first one then is maybe new for you, and it's very interesting that even Vietnam is in the Southeast Asia, we are considered belonging to the East Asia culture. And therefore, our ethical standard is formed by the Confucian philosophy. And the first one is I talked about it before is the family-oriented culture. That means that in Vietnam we stress the importance of the family. So usually every decision in the family was made by the elder. Even sometimes it's so private decision. And whenever doing anything, we also always think about how it affects the family. So that's the and like here in Korea. Then if you go to Vietnam, you may see that a lot of family have about 3 or 4 generations living in the same house or same small area. Therefore, we always have strong sense of family and community. And also, if you go to if you are the Vietnamese, you should be aware that who you are talking for, who you are talking to, or who you are talking about, and you should use different pronouns. And usually we select the pronoun based on the age or the gender of the others. And we also use the job title to call order when we're talking to them, and especially when you're talking with your teacher or your professor. And our traditional architecture include the imperial building and also the temple or the Buddhist pagoda is also look very similar to other East Asia countries, especially China. However, if you have been in China, you will see that most of their traditional building was made with bricks. And on the other hand, in Vietnam, the traditional building was made by, the main material is wood, not bricks. And then, interesting point, you can see it here. is when you look at a building, whatever is big or it's small building, the number of sub-building is always an odd number. For example, 1 or 3 or 5 buildings is never be an even number. We also have some famous art, traditional art and music. And the most famous art is the Dongho painting. You can find it very easily when you go to Hanoi. This picture name is Red Weddings, the wedding of dress. And also, you can easily find water puppet show in Hanoi, and it's very cheap. If you go to Hanoi, you may want to try it. And in Vietnam, we strongly believe in the life after the death. In Vietnamese culture, and every human being has two parts. The first one is the body, and the second one is the spirit. And when somebody dead, then only their body was buried, and their spirit continue to live with the family. Therefore, we build the altar, we build the altar, and we worship our ancestor on our house. And we even have some very interesting ceremony to talking with the dead, and we call it Lendong. And in this ceremony, then there will be a host here. You can see the host, and usually it's a woman. And after some mysterious procedure, then the spirit of the dead will take the body of the host, and you can ask him, you can ask her or him whenever you want. Everything in this world. Not a stomachic price. And as a lot of us here is the Vietnamese student, the engineering student. So I guess many of you here having trouble with personal relationship, right? At least it's true for me and my friend. And in Vietnamese culture, we have very interesting explanation when someone have trouble in their love life for a very long time. And we call it the secret fate. And what is secret fate? That's what a short video about it. Well, I'm sorry to interrupt, but now let's watch the movie. Let's watch the video. It's very interesting.
You were single for so long. No relationship works, and you are stressed out by it. In Vietnamese culture, your desperate love life doesn't mean you are unattractive or something. You could even be indeed highly desirable with lots of secret admirers. The problem is, they are not alive. Yes, we can call this relationship with the dead. According to Vietnamese Forever Alone community, the phrase relationship with the dead indicates you are haunted by lovers from the underworld. We could divide it into past life relationship and haunting. The past life relationship comes from the unfulfilled love from your previous life. Somehow your clingy ex couldn't move on and decided to follow you instead. On the other hand, haunting happens when you come by your dead soulmate at devil's hours like 3 a.m., 6 p.m. and 12 p.m. These affairs from the underworld create a magic boundary between you and a healthy relationship with a living human. In case you wonder if there is any paranormal love activity around you, here is a quick checklist. 1. You have never been in love, or you mess up your relationship every time. 2. You feel unexplainable pain. Your mood is getting worse. Your anger is uncontrollable. 3. You often meet a particular stranger in your dream. You hear unknown whispers that encourage you ending your life to be with them forever. And finally, your life sucks. Don't worry. You can get rid of these ghostly affairs with a ritual to cut the ties with the ghosts. The shamans can do the rituals to comfort the spirits and persuade them to give up on you. If things get intense, the shamans will either use a doll to replace you or capture the spirits. Well, things would become better due to their magic and your determination. Some people find themselves with love after one ritual. The others keep trying again and again. After numerous rituals, they cut all the ties with the dead and move on with Tinder. They finally found the love of their lives. Do you believe in the relationship with the dead? Well, come to Vietnam and check it for yourself.
Okay, so I guess many of you here have one more motivation to go to Vietnam. Okay, so that is, and in the next part of the presentation, I just want to recommend you some famous place that you want, that when you go to Vietnam, that you may want to visit. The first one, very famous in Vietnam, but I don't think that many of you here know it. And it's the Sapa. It's the small highland city on the northwestern of Vietnam. And it's a very beautiful, peaceful, and quiet. So, and especially people, the citizen here is very good in English. So, if you have a lot of time in Vietnam, you may want to travel here and visit it. And the second one is more famous. One is the Ha Long Bay. It's in the Gulf of Tonkin, and it has a lot of island, and the bay is also very beautiful. So, if you are a biological and you have interest in the biological, then you can visit there. It's in the north of Vietnam. Or sometimes if you go to Vietnam but you don't have much time, for example, you have 1 or 2 days, then right in Hanoi you can visit the Imperial City. It's right in Hanoi, and it was because Hanoi has been our capital for more than 1,000 years. So there are a lot of interesting buildings there. Or you can visit Chang'an. It's also very close to Hanoi. It's only about 100 kilometers far from Hanoi. And just like the Ha Long Bay, the nature here is beautiful. Or another city which is also very famous in Vietnam is the Hue. It used to be our capital in the 18th century. And therefore, we also have a lot of imperial buildings here. And the people in Hue is very, very friendly. And the lifestyle here is, I don't know, but people here tend to live very slow and enjoy the life. If you go to Hue, you will see that the life here is very, very slow, different from big city in Vietnam. Or close to Hue, you can visit Hội An, ancient town. And because Hội An used to be our center of business and trading, so here you may see a lot of culture from different countries here, all here in Hội An. Or Mission Sanctuary is in Vietnam we used to be the center of Hinduism, and this is the rest. It's also in the middle of Vietnam. And if you visit the Ho Chi Minh City or South Vietnam, then you must visit Mekong Delta area. There are a lot of interesting activity here, and like in the picture, You see, this is the floating market. It's very famous in Mekong Delta, and also the food here is very, very good. And finally, if you have more time, you may want to visit Phú Quốc Island. It's just like Jeju in Korea. It's a beautiful island in the south of Vietnam, and it's in the Thailand group, the group of Thailand. Okay, so this is the end of my presentation, and thank you a lot, and hope to see you in Vietnam. Thank you.
Okay, so thanks, Kang, for your presentation. I hope a lot of you guys have know a lot more about Vietnam. So to test your understanding, we'll have a few questions. We have prepared a few questions for you guys, and so the one will also have prepared some snacks as prizes. So. Okay, so the first question is, which country? Okay, so the farthest one to raise your hand. No. I count. I read the question and then count from 1 to 3. And the first, no, you have to. So, which countries does Vietnam share border with? What? Wait, no. You have to wait. 1, 2, 2.1, 2.5, 3. Okay, you. So, what's your answer?
D. Cambodia, Laos, China.
Is it correct? Okay. Oh, coffee. It's Vietnamese, a very famous brand of coffee. You can easily find this coffee in our hotels as well. So the next question. What is Vietnam national costume? Wait, I have... Hands down. Please put your hands down. I count. Let's be fair. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. You. The girl. B. Correct. Can you introduce yourself a bit?
Hi, everyone. I'm from Ecuador. My name is Belen. I'm not a KAIST student. Yeah, that's it.
So, when are you gonna have KAIST 1 Ecuador? We're very excited to.
We had like
Oh.
2 years ago. 2 years ago. Yeah, like 2 years ago.
Okay. Thank you. So the next question. Which flower is Vietnam national flower? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay. So the lady here.
Letter A, lotus.
Correct. Okay, the last question. We just had 4 questions, unfortunately. Oh, that's all? Oh. Also, we only had 3 questions. So, the last activity will be playing a fun game, which is kicking shuttlecock. So, does anyone here know what it is about? Do you know what a shuttlecock looks like? So this is a shuttlecock. And then, so this is what So this is a shuttlecock, and usually in a physical like exercise classes, we usually learn to kick this like this. So and you have to kick like at least be able to kick, for example, 5 times continuously without dropping it. So you would pass the class like this. Okay, so the winner will get so we'll have a fun game here. So can you demonstrate how to do it? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's okay. So we're gonna have a competition, and the winner who kicks with the highest number of will win a small prize. So we're gonna win it 5 volunteers. Okay. Come up. Just come up. So anyone else? Two more. Come on. No one's gonna come up. Okay, that's enough. That's enough. You lost your chance. No, I lost. Okay, let's do this. No practice. Okay, one by one. Who wants to go first? Anyone else? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We have so. Right? 2 people start first. Okay. All right. So you need to do it 6 times. 6 times? Yes. 1, 2, go. You win. All right. You lose, man. Okay. Go. You need, whoever loses first. Come on, Nico. Go. If you win, stay here. Okay, no, wait. You stand in the middle. Right. 1, 2, 3, go. You and I, come on. Okay. We can have 4 people, right? We can have 4 more people. 4 more people. Please come here. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
challenge him. Okay, we have a challenger. Two more? One more. All right, start. 1, 2, 3. Okay, you win. You did. Same. Okay, rematch. Okay, I'm gonna challenge you. Let's go. Yeah. Okay, you win. You play? Okay, go. Wait. Come to the center. Right. 1, 2, 3. You lose. All right, you win. Congratulations. Yeah. Just come up. 1, 2, 3. Come here and take your meal. Would you like this, or coffee, or potatoes, or whatever? All right, potatoes. Have some coffee. So, that was lovely, wasn't it? Please give them another round of applause. That's awesome. Okay, I have a few things to say. Only a few things, don't worry. As some of you might know, I'm leaving KAIST soon. So this is the last semester I will be doing KAIST 1. And after I leave, Kisa will handle organizing KAIST 1. So, and they also participated in organizing this event, so please give them a round of applause. Shout out to them. All right. And we have from Yusong Police Station. Where is the police? Oh yes, there. Sorry. All right, and he would like to say a few things. And I will translate. All right.
안녕하세요. 유성원 경찰서 외사계 이주정 경찰관입니다.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Jong-Yong Lee, a police officer from Yusong Police Station.
최근 한국에서 성범죄가 많은 이슈가 되고 있습니다.
Recently, sexual crimes have been a big issue in Korea.
한국에서 체류하고 있는 외국인 유학생들도 예외는 아닙니다.
There's no exception for you who are studying in Korea.
성범죄 유형에는 강간, 성추행, 성희롱, 불법 촬영 등 다양하게 많이 있습니다.
Sexual crimes include rape, sexual harassment, sexual molestation, illegal filming, etc.
만약 성폭력 피해를 당하게 된다면
If you are sexually assaulted,
우선 몸을 씻지 마시고요.
first, please do not wash your body.
당시에 입고 있었던 옷을 보관하셔야 되겠습니다.
Second, please do not throw away the underwear that you wore at the time.
그리고 경찰에 신고해야 될 때 112로 신고를 해주시면 되겠습니다.
Third, please report to the police at 112.
한편 한국에서는 데이트 폭력 또한 범죄인 만큼 각별한 주의를 부탁드리겠습니다.
I would like you to pay careful attention to dating violence as well, since it's also a crime.
데이트 폭력 대처 방법과 신고 방법은 카이스트 학생 지원팀 게시판에 게시되어 있으니까요. 참고하시기 바라겠습니다.
You can find how to report and cope with dating violence on the bulletin board of ISSS office.
감사합니다.
Please refer to the information and find it useful. Thank you for your time. Okay, so everyone's hungry, right? You're hungry? Please come leave from this